Yeah.
Now we're up.
Perfect. And I let them know in the other one that there's a new feed. Come on, join us over here. They're already starting to join, I see.
Whoever did that, you're fired.
And Carol, I'll let you know where we're at. We're at about 1:10 for timing before. So just let us know when you need to get up to the barn, okay?
Okay. Yeah, I've got a little bit of time before the sun starts setting. We've had sunshine today, so it's not going to get dark as fast as it does on a cloudy day. But it's still going to be cold tonight, so I've got some extra stuff to do when it gets cold.
You need the water warmers? Is it going to get that cold?
No, not cold enough for that. That only is single digit or below 0 when that happens, because the waters are inside heavy duty horse stalls where the animals are.
Okay.
So it's in the barn is insulated.
Just not heated.
Waters typically don't freeze unless it gets into single digits.
Okay.
And it's long-term single digit,
extended period of time.
When I had to do the warmers, it was in the teens during the daytime and single digits or below zeros at night.
Okay. Okay. So that's good to know. I'm happy that it's not going to get that cold. I'm not sure where I was in the explanation when it all started freezing a little bit there, but there I was just seeing Tara and see what's going well for everyone. I saw Tara's name and I was answering my opinion on Tara's question, and I think it's just ants. We so easily go quickly to the ants and reframing things. I'm just going to kind of Cliff's note this. Reframing things helps me a lot. Instead of thinking about the fact that it's negative, I go, what did I learn from this? Because all negative experiences I'm trying to see as a learning opportunity.
Right.
That way I'm able to turn it around into something positive. What did I learn from this? What could I do better next time? And that way I'm forcing myself to see the positive at this point. And I'm not saying that everybody is going to work for everybody, but
well, you know what though? I mean, that's a great habit to get into.
It's the only way that I can keep. It's the only way I can keep pushing to the next step right now. Because if I was focusing on the negative, I had said this recently to somebody. I said, I wish I could say F it. I wish I could say that. But what is that going to do for me? I'm only going to be stuck where I am longer. Things are only going to be worse. I'm not going to be getting the things done that I should be getting done. So with at least the positive mindset and trying to reframe it, I'm getting progress, even no matter how small it is. So.
I had a thought too about it. I'm kind of wondering, at what age do we learn to go to the negative? Because I would kind of assume that we're not born automatically going to the negative. Is it our culture? Is it like what we get in media?
Right.
Growing up, what portion of us automatically goes to that negative place so much easier than it is to go to the positive place?
Yeah.
And
it would be because it's not an automatic thing for kids to retain the negative. It's something that gets reinforced somewhere, I feel like.
Yeah. And I wonder if it's the repetition, whether it be a trauma that has been repeated over and over again, or just a negative statement that has been repeated over and over and over again. But no, you're right. Like positive, 100% sees the positive in everything. He has his moments, of course. He's going through a lot right now. So of course I'm expecting some negative, but it's still 90% positive.
Yeah.
Whereas my 13-year-old, it's ants. It's full on ants.
Yeah.
So I have to say that it's somewhere in that prepubescent, just at the beginning of pubescent stage.
There may be
I could be wrong.
No, I think there may be something to that.
And the hormones are changing.
Yeah.
Then at that point, the brain function's changing.
Yeah.
So
it can be scary. Those body changes can be really scary.
Well, and a lot of people don't talk about what those body changes will be. And some of it is because people don't know. But if it's hidden, then you don't know. I mean, one of my favorite charities is Days for Girls, which creates reusable feminine hygiene for women and girls around the world.
Yeah.
But some of the women that we've supported in Africa thought that when they got their period that they had AIDS or they were dying, because no one had ever told them what the period was. And this is just part of life as a woman. But yeah, yes. And Tara, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Or there are parents just kind of going through and us mirroring them because, they're mirroring the same thing that they had happen to them too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but I do agree. Mainstream media does so much. I know even on my own self-esteem right now, I could lose a little bit more weight. I could do this. I could do that because my whole entire life I've seen. I can't speak. I've seen all of these really pretty, beautiful, thin women all over media, and it's like, but I'm not ever going to really be that body type. Mm-hmm. And I know that. It's just my heritage. It's a bunch of different things.
Mm-hmm.
But it plays into my hands completely.
Yeah. And we really, as girls, and we're first going through those changes, it can be so mortifying, and you start comparing yourself to other girls, and you're not developing at the same rate, or you're developing too rapidly and you're self-conscious about that. I mean, it's just, we're all over the place with it. I don't know how it is for men, but I'm sure that there are similarities.
I've heard stories from my partner when he's talked to his sons about, things that their ways of their body was going to change. And I know he's had conversations about sex and about emissions and about other things related that, kind of those conversations that this is normal.
Yeah.
What you're feeling is normal. This is part of what, being, an adolescent, this is part of what you're going to go through. And I completely agree. Stasia's beautiful.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Making me blush, guys.
I feel it as I look at my face, because I'm and I'm getting older, the little, is it the jowls, this little,
I've got a little, I've got a little of it starting too.
I notice it here. And then of course, because I put on so much extra weight, my face, and then of course my chin, and I'm trying to focus on, I have naturally rosy cheeks and I do not have makeup on.
I think you are very attractive, and I'm not saying that in a pervy way. I mean, you are.
No,
we try to keep the perv level down, so it's not usually pervy, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know when it is.
Thank you, Gordo. And this is the part, even what Tara's talking about, is there's the portion of me that sees so much beauty in both of you that, and I'm much more aware of what is the inner person, and that makes the outer person look even more beautiful.
Yeah.
Because the inner person is so amazing.
Yeah.
But we can't do that to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah. And that it's odd.
Yes.
Yeah. And then that's when I feel like, I feel like I'm pulling a Christy by saying this, but that's where reframing helps a lot.
Yeah.
Just by going, what is this teaching me? Because this is a learning opportunity. Mm-hmm. What is this teaching me? What can I do better next time? What is that positive thing I can tell myself next time?
Yeah.
And just looking in the mirror again, like a full-length mirror, I'm able to, I know the negative thought's coming, and I try and jump out in front of it first. And I will physically, out loud, say something else instead, a positive statement.
That's amazing.
Just to try and trick myself.
And it can be such a habit of just where your brain's go-to is. That's an amazing habit breaker you've got going there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're doing so
Yeah,
amazing,
you are.
Asia. And
Yeah.
what you're doing for your daughter and your son to try to reverse any of that negative that they grew up with is so amazing.
Yeah.
Even if they still struggle, it's still such a positive thing to go toward. I mean, I think all parents need to do the exact same thing. We need to work to try to make it so our kids have it maybe a little less hard than we did.
Yeah.
At least
Cycle breaking is what I like to call it.
What'd you say?
I like to call it cycle breaking.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what? Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can, I say that now, but if you asked me 4 months ago, I would have had a hard time saying yeah to that. Be like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Come talk to me again in a few weeks. And then I would have said a few weeks more and a few weeks more.
Yes.
But I also think it's conditioning or even surviving together. I had said it on that stream in the comments. Like I was groomed to compare myself to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I was groomed. Yes. And then,
universal.
yeah. So we have the media that then turns into ourselves. But now when we have a partner doing it to us as well, there's a whole different level of reprogramming your brain that I didn't even realize was a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was walking out. Like, I just walk out of my room and I see 2 other people and it's like immediately I'm like, they're better, they're more attractive than I am. They are better at this than I am. They're better at that than I am. But yet I have social workers here and I have you guys constantly reminding me I've made so much progress.
You have.
I've done so much work.
You have.
Yes.
So I need to focus on those things instead.
Yeah.
But
I've never seen anybody fight harder to reclaim their true selves than you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Truly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And you will succeed.
Yeah, you will.
Oh, I know.
I know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly but surely. And then that's the hard part for me, the slowly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you know what? I would love to be able to break the system of media.
Yes.
But media is not going to be breakable at this point because now
we don't know. But it is. Because legacy media is losing its luster and people are going to YouTube where people are, doing some actual research.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nut jobs, saying a lot of things on YouTube, but there's also some truth seekers and truth speakers.
Yeah. So this is where my concern is. Legacy media, you know what? That's what we grew up on. That's where we got our programming to how to think of ourselves. Now we're switching to digital media like this. Now we need to make sure that our children are educated on to properly retrieve information from the internet that is correct, that is healthy, and that is beneficial.
Yes.
That's my next fear now.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do we keep the kids away? Because it's just going to be another cycle of if we don't properly educate them, it's just going to be another cycle of unhealthy findings, unhealthy mentalities that they're going to end up with.
Yeah.
Because TikTok, there's a lady here whose daughter does TikTok and she's stunning. She's 20. She's stunning.
Yeah.
But she's seeking men's attention on TikTok.
Yeah.
She's scantily clad. And again, she's stunning and she's beautiful and she's smart from everything that I hear. But that's the attention she's looking for.
Yeah. And I think that's part of being 20,
it could very well.
If you've had a normal, healthy, reasonably normal, healthy, go of things getting to that point, it's kind of the natural way of things. And, like Tommy pointed out the other day, and I had been hearing this for a while, that, kids in high school are not having sex the way that our generation did. They're not learning to drive until their mid-20s.
That's true.
We could not get our driver's licenses fast enough.
Yes.
Because that was our road to freedom. I guess, the social media thing has given people a way to find another outlet to whatever freedom might look like to them. I don't know. I haven't completely nailed it all down.
We could afford housing in the 80s.
And we could afford housing in the 80s, like you said.
A lot of the time now, teenagers or early adolescents are moving to the cities. And in the city, so I was that kid. I was in the city. I grew up in Toronto. I moved to Barrie, and all that I needed was a bus pass. I didn't get my license until I was 30.
Okay.
So, there was no need for it. There was absolutely no need for it. So, and then I moved, even when I moved with my ex-partner, we went to big cities. All I needed was a bus pass. He did the driving, you know what I mean? And then I get my license, that I understood the different level of freedom at that point. But I find now everybody's moving to the cities, and it's funny, where I'm located, it's cheaper in Montreal to rent a 2-bedroom apartment than it is where I'm currently living. And if I go further into the country where I want to be going, it's about $300 more than where I am now. So it's about $500 difference from Montreal to live in the country.
Wow.
And it's $500 more to live in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the pricing of things, I think, is affecting that hugely as well.
Something amazing about YouTube is that the platform allows for real people to be visible. Legacy media pretty much showed us exactly one body type that barely existed to begin with. Now we can see what real people look like again, and it's wonderful. I agree.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's partially why I'm trying to allow myself to go gray. Don't know that I'm going to completely succeed and may color it, but letting this gray in, when I let that start when we had COVID, that was, and going without makeup. So I might put on sunscreen and I might put on a tinted moisturizer, but I'm not going the whole, I never really liked it anyway. So it wasn't one of those things. So this is what I really look like if you saw me somewhere. And
that's perfect.
I'd like it to be, I'd like other people to feel okay being
doing it themselves.
whatever. Yeah. I mean, I want it to people
being
to feel
whatever.
Okay. Get out of
whatever.
Get out of bed, whatever you in your pajamas. I think that should be.
And some people just
okay.
Some people feel better, doing the whole thing, and and it's part of their self-care, and it's all good.
Yeah. After Rowan, I had decided, because I started graying, it's very hard to tell, but I started graying quite heavily after Rowan and the hormone changes and all of that. So after him, I decided that's it. I'm not dyeing anymore. I had been dyeing my hair since I was 12. I took all sorts of fun colors and I'm not doing this anymore. I cut it all off to a reverse pixie bob. And it was shaved in the back and a little bit longer in the front. And this is 3 years later now. But I'm trying to embrace every aspect that's coming with the next stages of my life, because I don't want to feel plastic or fake. And with my ex's family, I got to see a lot of that plastic, and I got to see a lot of that fake, and I got to see a lot of that vanity, and I don't like what comes with it. I don't like the personalities that come with it.
We were talking about, I see my dad right here.
Yeah.
My dad was 45 when I was born.
Oh, okay.
So I had older parents.
Yeah.
So this is what I always knew. And I'm seeing him right here. And you know what? Even if I could afford it, I would not want to do Botox, I don't think.
No, I want to be as natural. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Real people have wrinkles. Real people have bags underneath their eyes. One of the advantages of glasses, and because I've had allergies, is I've never felt really comfortable with my under eye area, because it's always been darker and no concealer could ever cover it. Yeah, I'd like I'd like girls, young girls, teenagers, I'd like them to feel good enough in their bodies.
Yeah.
That they don't have to do all those other things to.
Yeah. And they don't have to look this way, this certain way.
Exactly.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Somebody is going to be attracted to you for the right reasons, as long as you just stay the course and stay true, you know?
Well,
I try to educate my 9-year-old daughter on how fake legacy media is, but when I talk to her about filters and Insta fake pics, she is also aware of how fake social media is. She educates me now all the time. I love that.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I love this too.
Yeah.
Ben makes everyone look like a psychopath.
Yes. That's awesome. Actually, one of the things that my partner said, because I found him on OkCupid, and I reached out because I spent 3 hours reading the profile and seeing all the questions and making sure the questions match the profile and all of those things. One of the things he said was, you looked like your picture.
Right on.
I looked like my picture. I didn't take the camera picture from up here, so you couldn't see any of this. There was a full body shot, so you could see this is exactly kind of what you see is what you get.
You know, I
really appreciated that.
Rev, if you're referring to, are the mainstream media doing that because they are insecure with themselves? I mean, how else are we to interpret when they put these completely unrealistic expectations of what attractiveness is before us? How is the goal not to make us insecure about ourselves, because we're never going to be that?
Exactly.
So I don't, I mean, that's all I can see at the moment.
And I'm going back to a conversation that I was having earlier, and where corporations are coming to mind. There's the Botox companies, there's the pharmaceutical companies that want money, there's the cosmetic companies that want money, there's the clothing companies that want money, and then they're showing all of this to us all at once, and it's like, well, now I need all of these things to be as attractive as that person, because look, my partner or my brother or whoever male in my life is staring at the TV and drooling, and I want to be that person that they drool over.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm seeing corporations playing a huge part in it as well.
Sure. It makes sense. If we're insecure about ourselves, we'll buy more makeup and junk. It's true. I want to fix my self-esteem, says Izzy. Yeah, more than I want to fix my grays or my wrinkles. I'm getting much older than most of my friends got to be. That's amazing.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Amazing. I mean,
and I agree.
Drop the mic now.
Exactly, right?
Drop the mic now. Now.
I'm with you. With Izzy, I want to fix the self-esteem, the portion of me that thinks I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just started a dating profile, and my God, it's the same fake pictures over and over again.
Well, and you can start to tell that there's filters. I'm like, no, just be who you are, because that's who, if you meet up, that's who you're going to meet.
That's right. And eventually, if we kind of stop catering to this whole idea or ideal or whatever it is, then we'll get to look at each other and not compare ourselves to each other.
Yes.
And appreciate the beauty that's before us, the uniqueness in each and every person.
Oh yeah. Yep. And I think that's why spaces like this are important, because we're focusing on that.
Yeah.
We're not actually focusing on, well, look what this person's wearing or how that they look. We're showing up no makeup. We're showing up in pajamas. Like
and I like to doll up from time to time. I like to put on a little makeup.
Yeah.
But I also like to not have to do it.
Yes. Yep.
I don't want to feel like I have to do it.
Yeah, I want to make the decision myself. Do I feel like doing it today? Okay, I'll do it. But other than that, I think I can probably count within my two hands how many times I've showed up to a meeting with makeup on now.
Right on.
And it's because I wanted to, or because, you know, I was just, I was feeling a little down that day, because sometimes it just helps pick me up a little bit. It's like, oh, look, my eyes look cute now. Okay, I can continue, you know?
Exactly, Tara. I don't think wearing makeup automatically makes someone insecure. No, it doesn't.
Yep.
And
No.
I hope I wasn't implying that. I used to think that, but now I think it's fun sometimes. Not every day though, just for the
Yeah.
grocery store like I used to for fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
for fun. It is
Exactly.
fun. It's fun. It's fun. You know, it's a fun little thing that you can play with. And I used to love playing with makeup when I was a younger girl.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I don't think I left the house without doing it, because it made me feel good every single day. And then I just got to the point where I'm like, do I need to be doing this? Because I was like wearing makeup to the gym, and I'm like, no, I look like a raccoon by the time I'm leaving the gym. The
Have you
gym
ever
taught me a
watched
lesson.
I've been hearing about this Diary of a CEO. They just covered dating apps realities. Very good watch. I've heard about that.
What streaming service is that on?
Yeah.
YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
I've seen that channel. And I think I've watched maybe one thing, or maybe I started to watch it and then fell asleep. I remember watching one on menopause, because I'm getting to that age where, you know, I need to start thinking about it. But
Okay.
with Mel C. Oh, okay.
Okay. Interesting. Watched it with Mel C from the Spice Girls. Okay. Diary of a CEO. I've been hearing about it.
I just screenshot it, so if you want me to send it to you later, Carol, I can.
Okay. Thank you.
Because
Being a
I'll
man, I
forget
have
the
to
name.
say in the matter. I have no say in them. Being a man, I have no say in the matter, but I think a woman's makeup should be for her and not for everyone else. That's why that's what I'm teaching my little girl. 100%. Yeah. If I do makeup, it's because it is 100% for me. He doesn't care one way or the other,
Perfect.
you know? And so you know, I can say I lucked out, but if somebody would have started making me feel insecure and saying, oh, why don't you put on some makeup? Oh, why don't you, like my first husband, oh, why don't you grow your hair out? You were so pretty when you would do this and do this and do this, looking at my high school pictures. And I'm like, I'm not in high school anymore, dude.
Yeah.
And so I would rebel against him, you know, and I would cut my hair even shorter. And I'd do the exact opposite of what he would ask me to do, because it's just, I just knew it was just so wrong. What's wrong with me that you think that I need to change something? You know, nothing's wrong with me. You get over yourself.
Exactly.
You go, girl.
Exactly. It took me a while to get to that, get over
I
yourself.
stayed there.
But
I stayed stuck in that for 5 years. You know, my from 18 until my early 20s, you know, gave him some of the best years, what could have been the best years of my life, and they were misery, you know. So, you know,
we live, we learn.
we live, we learn.
Well, I'm just realizing we've been 28 minutes on this, and I don't know if we want to end soon or what we want to do, but I really liked Tara's question earlier. So what's going well for everyone?
Yeah, I saw that.
Think about some really positive things that are going on for people, or if anybody else needs something to talk about.
Yeah, my husband is just glad I don't take as long to get ready to go places. I love makeup because it's fun. It's one of those things that have been overtaken by the beauty industry, but humans have been painting their faces for a heck of it since time immemorial. For the heck of it, since time immemorial. Yeah. So I've been trying to think about the answer to that. And, you know, the animals are all alive. So that's a good thing. Means I'm not, you know, there's something about that I get to think of myself as not a total failure in life, you know.
You're not,
because that's the self-talk that I have to work through, you know.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. It's raw, it's honest, and I love it.
I'm just going to say it again. You're not a failure.
No,
you maybe made some choices that you would rather not have, but you are not a failure. Because if we continue to try to grow and be better, we're continuing. That's not failing. That's persevering. Yes, I thought about that. I could do my lip gloss, but then it's difficult to kiss someone.
I'm a kisser. My wife eventually quit putting on makeup because I tended to kiss it off. Oh, I love that so much.
That's awesome.
Seventh, you're a charmer.
He really is.
So good to see.
He really is.
A great.
And how about for you, Rebecca? What's going good? Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was still gushing over.
He is a complete charmer. He really is.
And Tara smiling, going well. I'm looking forward to moving into a new place soon, a bigger place with my own kitchen, probably in March. That's amazing. My health is pretty good at the moment, which is like a million. So who's next?
I can go. My tooth, the swelling's down in my face. I can feel this side of my face again, so that feels good. That's better. And the positive mindsets, the continually trying to change my negative to positive, it's becoming easier. It's becoming so much easier this week. So
that's amazing.
I'm so glad.
Those are my positives right now.
Yeah. I want to add too that, I've really been thinking about my spending habits and why I did what I did, rack up a bunch of credit card debt, and I didn't do that before. I've had to cinch my belt straps, paying off debts and paying off things, but I did not deal with the mindset that got me there.
Okay.
The impulse control thing.
Yeah.
And I have not been doing the spending thing. A lot of it is because I can't now, because I've maxed out some credit cards. But I'm really looking at what's going on there. What kind of what's really going on there? And I feel like when things get straightened out and I'm able to pay down the debts and get life manageable again, that I want to feel like I do feel like I'm building up some tools to not do that again.
Good.
I haven't had a drink in almost 30 years. I haven't smoked a bowl in over 30 years. These things, I did those things. Maybe a little bit crazily, but I did them nonetheless. I can do this too.
Yes.
I can do this.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yep.
Your turn.
And how about you? Yeah, Rebecca.
I am thankful for today, and that I'm thankful for my kitty. I'm thankful I got to sew, that I've got some leftover pot roast in the fridge. So my dinner tonight is going to be that. And then I'm probably going to watch a movie and try to go to bed early because I'm feeling really tired and really fatigued.
Yeah.
But life is pretty darn good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good.
Right on. And you don't have a crazy neighbor lady that, you never know what she's going to show up, when she's going to show up, and what she's going to do when she does.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing.
So that you can peacefully fondle fabric. That's officially my favorite term, fondling fabric.
I cannot take credit for that. I've heard it from somebody else, but I do. And I fondled fabric today, and it was so amazing.
Yay!
A couple hours. I think like 2.5 hours. I was fondling fabric. It was awesome.
Yes.
So early night sounds great for your well-being, Rebecca. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Carol, do you think spending was another type of drink or drug? 100%, Anne. 100%. I got the dopamine hit, the reward center of the brain. I looked forward to those packages coming in. It was just it was every bit of a high chase as my chasing after the right drug to get the right effect, the right drink, the right combination, the right, on and on. It was all that.
Yeah.
It absolutely was all of that. No different than my other addiction.
And I'm just curious. I can't remember if it was, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, you were mentioning how you weren't sure how you felt about not having the relapse aspect to your recovery. Do you feel different realizing that now?
Well,
realizing what
like
your
my
spending
husband
was for
pointed
you?
out, I did the relapse thing. I did it with the spending. I did it with the credit cards.
Could I share something?
Steve wants to share something.
Too deep,
okay.
but it's about.
Well, come over here. Sit over here.
Well,
he wants to share something.
A few years ago, Carol would be watching something on eBay, and I would watch something. Had an account, and Carol would be upset because her watch items was full and her cart was full. What she figured out is you could have 20 watch items going, but you could have your shopping cart full of like 160 things. So she would fill up her shopping cart and her watch, but she would only buy things as she was going to ready to buy. But she would keep her shopping cart full so that she could have that many things watched. Well, I didn't have an aneurysm, but I had similar effects.
Oh my goodness. Oh
yeah.
It was an epiphany of loss is really what I had. I was like, wow.
So I have been examining that, and there's no difference in the behavior. There's no difference in the reward seeking, in the dopamine hits that I got from it. There's no difference.
To be fair, it's probably like gambling, similar.
Yeah.
You just get at the table and you get another card, or you buy another scratch off, or you put another coin in. It's not hard to do.
To control my online shopping, I leave the tab open for 2 days. If I'm still feeling I need it, then I buy it. Cut my habit right down.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah. Pro tip. I found if I want to drive my significant other crazy, all I have to do is play 15 minutes from the second DVD of The Two Towers, Lord of the Rings. Oh, that's a great tip. That's very useful.
I was going to say I kind of have the same thing
the soundtrack or the movie. I guess it's the DVD.
Yeah, so the movie.
We're still going, Misha. We got accidentally the stream accidentally ended for some reason.
So we created another one.
Yeah, so we created another one just to kind of not leave everybody hanging. But then we got to talking, and here we are.
I don't know. So if you guys run out of watch space, you can fill up your shopping cart. You can get up to 200 things watched that way. Just 100
That's dangerous to know.
I'm gonna skip that. I have found to curb my fabric habit, I cannot watch things that are showing me all the fabric because I need more fabric. So I just can't even, it'll be really cool. And it'll be like, there's the urgency that if you don't get it now, you're never going to get it again.
I save fabric, don't I, Carol? I save fabric.
Yeah, you do. You do. I save clothing that has fabric that I like because I never know if I'm going to do something with it, and sometimes I actually do. I really do. You get ideas, and
there are quilters who shop at
amplifier tweed. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
The speaker cover and the amplifier cover.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. So then, are you going to add in a new separate date for your recovery from shopping addiction? I have not thought about that.
That's a good question.
It is a good question.
Tara, you're full of them. Holy cow. Loving it.
Maybe you could play Convoy as your song. Long way to go and a short time to get there. We're going to do what they say can't be done. If you've ever heard that song.
You just told me what I'm going to watch tonight.
Yes.
Smokey and the Bandit.
There we go. Love it.
Oh,
It's
that
great
is
to have you here,
hilarious.
Steve.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's great to have you here. Can you hear through the ear?
I can hear pretty good. It must be loud. Well, I was working on projects and I put the goats were in a small space. So I went outside and fixed the fence and let them into twice as much space, but they're still limited.
They're still semi-incarcerated.
Yeah.
We have 200 feet of, I don't know if you'd call it horticulture fabric, but you put it down on the ground and then you put your dirt over it.
Yeah.
And I got 200 feet for like $9. We're going to pull that out on fencing at the back at the woods for a pretty good stretch. And I think that's going to cut off their ability to run down there.
Yeah.
Stop them, that's for
They can't
sure.
see through it. They can chew it, which because they're goats, they might chew it.
Misha says it's good to see you on here, mister.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I'm glad you asked the question, Tara. I didn't ask the question to pressure you, Carol. Just genuinely curious about your plans. You have my support. Thank you. You know, I hadn't gotten that far.
Zero interest credit card offers and swap them, pay what you can, get another one and swap them. But I've
People do
noticed
that.
they haven't done that as much lately.
And
Yeah.
you have to remember to get rid of the old in order to
Yeah.
do that, so you don't end up with way more credit card
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
I have enough balance on a card to take it all, but I don't know if I want to do that yet till I find out the interest and see what I should do.
Yes.
You know, this was just a card. I guess she thought she was going to spend and pay on, and
No,
it just
but one of the
got
things
big.
that really got me was those automatic subscriptions to things, automatic renewals to things.
Yep.
Seems like a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
It is not.
Well, and they will often use, okay, if you do this, it's something you need. You get this subscription, you're saving a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Only what if you don't need as much as, and then of course you don't know what's coming out.
Right.
You can't watch it.
You can't control it. You can't control
And not
it.
and not only that, that
The
feeling
bear.
of having something come
Smoky.
is
That's
different.
oh, because of Jerry Reed. Because I'm pretty Southern. I bet Smokey and the Bear. When I
Yeah.
spoke. I'm sure I do. I sound pretty redneck. I'm sure. That's funny. I like Jerry Reed. He's a really good guitar player. He was in that movie.
Yep.
But
I actually, this is maybe I'm nerding out a little bit. I have the whole set on DVD.
Nice. Oh my
the-
gosh.
I
The
could
Lord of the Rings?
tonight if I don't go to bed early, I could.
You know, I
marathon
can't wait
watch.
till we can order deep fakes and insert our own family members into a movie and order a deep fake copy of a movie they can watch and see themselves as one of the characters.
That will be
awesome.
entertaining.
I think that would be a business, an industry that could sell,
Yes. Yes.
you know. I would like that. That would be hilarious.
Right on, Ann.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
That's good. That's a good idea.
Oh yeah, I pay every bill by the post office. And with the decay of our postal system, I pretty much have to pay them as soon as the bill comes in so they get there on time.
Yeah.
You know, I have to
Yeah.
go inside the post office and drop them in because it's just getting slower and slower. But I figure if they're charging us for the lights and they can't open a letter, or if they decide to bill you for twice as much or 2 months bills at once, you don't know till your account's busted.
Yeah.
But if you
Right.
get a letter and they're all of a sudden wanting 400 when they've been wanting 200,
Yeah.
you have an intervention to overdrawing your bank account.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of Carol's things, I'm sharing too much, took a year in one lump. It was so much a month, so they took a year.
Yep. That was my insurance, actually.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
My health insurance.
So
Okay.
It was a huge hit.
yeah, I
bet.
bet it
And
was.
I was in the process of, I was right in the middle of renewing too. But they just
Oh, my
pulled it. They just debited it. They didn't give me a heads up of any kind. Yeah.
Oh
I
my
like
God.
this
Yeah.
idea.
I went into overdraft. It was bad.
You know, with automatic payments too, a woman in Chicago died in her garage. She was getting up and going to work, and she was in her car, and she never left. Well, she had a $50,000 balance in her bank, and she had a slip on her door about 3 feet high. So for years, they were able to slip mail into the door. No one noticed that she died until finally her account overdrew.
Oh my
But
God.
most men would notice, hey, nobody's here. Nobody's, somebody.
Jesus.
But they just took her money from the bank account, but finally the junk mail is what piled up, and he couldn't get something in and did a welfare check.
The last person to exit the room on Restream is the name that carries over, Ben.
That's right. Carol, your
Ben.
name's Ben Turner, not Tina Turner.
And I think that somebody might have accidentally hit end stream, and it may not have been me. Ben.
The instant gratification lifestyle is killing society. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
We grew up having to wait for shit
Yes.
Yeah.
to some degree till our parents had the money or to the thought, but this go into debt. Americans are now, you hear the speeches. One of the latest speeches, someone said that we're like $65,000 or $70,000 in debt per person when we're born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the national debt level.
Yep.
I'm bad for the 30-day free trial that I don't remember to cancel until
Oh,
45 days later. Same here.
I've
It's
done it.
true.
One
Oh,
time
my
we had
God.
about 4 streaming things that I didn't even know. I was like, man, we've got that. Carol had done some trials.
She was using it.
Right.
You just reminded me.
We've been watched everything though. We could do without for a while and not be too worried about missing anything.
I mostly watch YouTube anymore.
Same.
I was going to say, this is what I've got. The Pursuit Pack.
Love it.
Smoking the Bandit.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
There's all 3 versions. And if you didn't know there were 3 versions, I realize I'm nerding a little. But yeah, there are 3 versions of it.
I have a VHS of Purple Rain.
That's awesome.
In concert,
you
I
have
think
a
somewhere in
VHS
my...
of Star Wars? Do we know anybody who has VHS of Star Wars?
I do. Let me see.
We do.
Is there any way that I could borrow that?
Carol.
I know we didn't get rid of that. I know we
The
didn't.
reason I ask is that's the only way, if you have the original and I got rid of mine, that's the only way you're going to get the one where Hans shoots first.
Yes. Yes.
We've got this, the Dark Crystal,
Oh,
VHS.
That's awesome.
It is
I
awesome.
love it.
Purple Rain
Yay.
on VHS.
Yes.
Pink Floyd
Yay.
in concert on
Mhm.
VHS. Corn, y'all.
Yeah. I forget. I haven't thought of that.
I love corn.
I haven't thought of them in a long time.
I love corn.
Quest on VHS.
What's that?
Galaxy Quest on
Quest,
VHS.
yep.
But it's a freebie on YouTube if you have
Oh my
premium.
God, show them these 2. They will freak.
Close Encounters.
That's awesome.
Oh
third
my
kind.
goodness. Yes.
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth is my favorite.
That's
My
awesome.
favorite.
Chloe.
Yes.
And the box
Yes.
set.
And
That's from the 90s.
And
before
the box
Phantom
set from the
Menace.
90s.
What? See, that's the set I had.
Love it.
That's awesome.
And the new Star Wars is.
And the new Star Wars.
You see, I
Yes.
haven't watched any of the first three.
No.
No. I've
Okay.
heard everybody said bad things about it. I know 4, 5, and 6, which is what I grew up with.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the Star Wars so that on VHS, because my partner knows a way to, because he's got Plex.
Okay.
And so I never will run out of movies to watch. And so he's borrowed a bunch of mine and put them out there. So trying to find the Star Wars.
Well, I tell you what, I will happily loan these to you for a copy of that.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Okay.
I could do that. I'll double check with Brian, but I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he has all of that stuff on Plex.
Okay.
And that was part of it, is to just Han shot first. The guy was a bounty hunter. He's not going to miss at close range.
No, he's not a stormtrooper.
Yeah, I've heard other people that nerd out on Star Wars talk about the Han shooting first thing.
Yeah,
it bothers me.
And I must be the. I don't know if it's. Yeah, believe me. I think it's most Star Wars fans.
A digital copy made for us.
Oh, okay.
And now I've watched the 1, 2, and 3, all of the other ones that have come out through Disney. And then I've now watched 3 different anime series of Star Wars, including the live action Mandalorians and like, why can't I think of the name right now? Ashoka. Like I'm going through all of it. I don't know what it is, but like Star Wars is life, in my opinion. Like, let me live space opera if I can.
Yep, it's fun. I rewatched them, and it irritated me when I got to the part where Hans doesn't shoot first. It really irritated me.
Oh goodness. So how's everybody feeling?
I feel like I've had a meeting. 2 in the chat if you feel like you still need a meeting. 3 if you feel like we've had a meeting.
I just asked because myself is starting to get hungry.
Yeah, B-52s.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's not a DVD.
I did not know there one part where it says tin roof rusted. I did not know that until I was able to read the lyrics.
It took me a while to figure out what they were saying, but when it came, when I was able to hear it on a good stereo digitally, yeah.
There's a few songs, like I've seen a few little videos that go over like what we think the lyrics say and what the lyrics really say, and some of them just have me in stitches. Hilarious. Oh my god!
I laughed.
The sun is starting to go down here, so it's
you got to go. I just gonna say one final thought. I laugh because my very religious sister. There's a song. It's like Dancing in the Sheets. She thinks it's Dancing in the Streets. So she doesn't realize what that song is about. And I don't want to tell her because most, like 80% of songs are about sex. So just
you believe what it's for then.
Just let you think it's Dancing in the Street.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
No, we're good. It's good.
Well,
all right.
Shall we end on a huzzah?
Of course. Of course. And ladies, I love you so much before we huzzah. That way I don't forget to say it.
Love you too.
Wonderful to see everybody. Thank you for joining. And before we all forget again, please hit the like and subscribe and all those fun YouTube buttons.
Yeah, make sure that if you are subscribed that YouTube didn't unsubscribe. You have some people have said earlier that it has that they were unsubscribed from the channel. So just if you think about it, double check it. If you like what we do here, subscribe.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. That's the most plug I'm going to do, I think. That's the best I can do.
I'm going to initiate it and you can finish it. How about that? That's how we'll work it.
Sounds good.
I just want to remember you're loved, you're supported, you're cared about, and you are worthy.
Yes.
No matter what the rest of the world tells you, you are.
Yes.
So please remember.
Mm-hmm.
That's my final thought.
Right on. I love it.
All right. And on a huzzah?
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Good night, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Love you guys. You guys, this was a great meeting. I love you guys so much. You guys make this a great place to be. Every one of you. And couldn't do it without you. It wouldn't be a meeting without you. So I hope to see you next meeting. And until then, peace, y'all.